And we are live. Welcome back. It is Monday evening, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Looking forward to catching up with my Monday night crew. It seems like it's been a while. If you are new, I always ask you to take a second and hit that like button on Facebook or that subscribe button on YouTube. That way you will be notified when we go live in the future and or we upload a new video. And then always feel free as you're jumping on to leave a comment. Let me know where it is that you are tuning in from. And if you're catching this on the rebroadcast, always feel free to jump in and leave a comment as well. I always go back and review comments regularly and make sure that I leave a message back for you. So if you are jumping on live, welcome. And if you're new, welcome as well. This is an amazing community of women here who are doing some pretty amazing things with our overall health and fitness and wellness in that regard as well. Welcome from the UK. Always nice to have my UK ladies here. My name is Diane, and just a quick introduction, if you guys don't mind. For the past 25 years, I have been helping women look for nutritional plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. I was primarily doing that in the fitness arena type of thing, with the nutrition being sort of the package deal that went together. And now, as a certified nutrition coach, I am doing it primarily on the nutrition side of things. And here we are focusing on utilizing some of the key aspects of intermittent fasting and introducing a keto-like lifestyle to reverse some of the aging problems that we are facing as women as we kind of start to go through the hormonal changes that happen as we age, and doing some pretty amazing things by incorporating those two lifestyles around nutrition and doing some great things to reverse some of those aging processes and some of the many sort of health situations that we find ourselves in. So really great community. If you're new, definitely make sure that you ask questions and speak up during the broadcast. We always love having our new people here as well. So time and consistency. It could either be the thing that's going to get you where you need to go, or it could be the thing that's going to trip you up and kind of keep you in that place where you're always feeling like you're starting over. And it's a very normal struggle for us to have because we are pretty impatient creatures just by nature. We want immediate gratification. We want the results to come now. We think that if we do what everybody else is doing, we should be able to get the exact results that they're getting. And that's where the problem pretty much starts and ends for most of us, because if we don't get that immediate gratification, then we tend to feel frustrated and just assume that it's just something that's not working for us. And so I'm going to give you some tips and kind of go over a little bit about what happens with time and consistency and why it is one of those big stumbling points for most of us when we're trying to do something new, and especially in the area of wellness and health, and more specifically weight loss for women. It is that thing that we want the weight to come off quickly, especially if you're maybe changing some lifestyle habits and you're with your spouse and he's losing weight pretty quickly, or maybe you're doing something with a girlfriend and she's losing weight faster than you are and you think that something is wrong with you. And so time and consistency kind of goes out the window, and we throw in the towel or give up or feel like we failed at just another attempt at making ourselves better. And so I'm going to explain a little bit about why that happens. So consistency is that thing that, in the big scheme of things, it's not really fancy. It's really kind of a boring concept in a sense that you're going to continually do the same things repeatedly over time. And that does get a little bit boring and can be that thing that if you're doing the same things over and over again and then you're not seeing the results as fast as you thought you should, the boring part doesn't pull you through. And so you think that it's definitely not worth it and it's not exciting anymore. Your desire tends to wane off and you get to that point where you're kind of wanting to throw in the towel. But when it comes to health and it comes to wellness, and especially when it comes to balancing out our hormones, which we are trying to do here with intermittent fasting and a keto-like lifestyle, because now we know through the research that's being done that hormonal balance is really the key to sustaining a healthy weight loss and a weight loss that will stand the test of time, as opposed to like those quick fix fad diet kind of things where you'll lose weight quickly and then you gain it back and then some. So we really want to make sure that we're concentrating on that hormonal balance. And that's the part that takes time. and consistency, because we never really know at what point of imbalance that we're starting at when we're incorporating something like intermittent fasting and a keto-like lifestyle. So when we are sort of comparing ourselves to other women and it seems like they're getting results faster than us, it's really hard for us to stick to that consistency of being really disciplined about that clean long fasting window, and that consistency and discipline of sticking to that nutrient dense food in our feasting window, and really paying attention to those signs and signals that our body is sending us, and consistently staying away from those foods that are causing us the issues. And I know I struggled with that a lot. And in my course, if you're in my course, you'll see tomorrow, I explained to you guys a little bit of my struggle and what I really had to do this last year to be consistent with listening to those signs and signals that my body was sending me, so that I could pinpoint those areas that were still tripping me up every now and then, and kind of setting me back with what it was that I was trying to achieve. So consistency is really that thing that is going to set that level of hormonal balance in your body and really get you to that point where your body's going to be balanced out enough to really start letting go of that inflammation, and then eventually letting go of that body weight, and then eventually getting to that point where we're efficiently burning off that body fat, which is ultimately what we're looking for. And so if you're not consistent, then your body's going to constantly be in that position where it's trying to adjust itself, because you can be really good and disciplined about what it is you're doing for a week or two at a time, and then you throw some little whammy in your body, and you throw something back in your body that it's not really able to tolerate, and then we're back out of balance again. And so we're constantly doing this and then frustrated because we're not staying in balance consistently enough to affect change. And that time comes in. So you want to keep that consistent pace of making good food choices, that consistent pace of listening to the signs and signals that your body is sending you, keeping out all of those foods that are going to cause those inflammatory reactions in your body, and then do it for a long enough period of time to where you can create the change that you're looking for. And that's really hard for us to do because we've never really been expected to be consistent over a long period of time. Most of us, myself included, and I've coached so many women on these types of plans, is that it's a mad dash to that finish line, and we do really desperate things. We're in that diet phase and we're cutting things down so slim, and we cut out all the really fun stuff, and we're so disciplined for a short period of time that we affect a nice change, but it's not going to last, because no one can really sustain that deep of a level of discipline for a long enough period of time for that weight to stay off. And so that's where we get into this type of mode. But what we're doing with our intermittent fasting and a keto-like lifestyle is we're really allowing ourselves the opportunity to develop our own lifestyle that's truly authentic to us. And even though I was sort of in this phase of, kind of doing this a little bit over the last couple of years, I was still really able to affect a nice change because I was consistent enough with my long, clean fast, and I was really decent about my feasting windows. I was just not tuning into those last little signals with some foods that were causing me some problems. So I still was able to heal my body and affect some good change, but I had that last little bit that I needed to be consistent with and get those things out of my window, so that over time, meaning from this point for the rest of my life, I will be able to continue to live healthy and energetic and not have to worry about those setbacks of inflammation that I was kind of suffering by being in denial a little bit about some of the foods that I was choosing. So consistency, it can be boring. And so that's usually when we kind of throw things out the window, because we're like, hey, I've been doing this for a couple weeks, I'm not feeling any change, so I don't think it's working for me, and we jump ship and we go try to find something else. Consistency over time is where we're going to see those results, and that really does create that nice compound effect of making those good choices day after day after day. And when you start living those habits and you start really living out the things that you're putting into your life, then over time we've created a new lifestyle because we've created new habits. And those things that we had to think so diligently about in the beginning now just become part of who we are and the day that we have and the way that we're living our life. So that's where that consistency really does come in for you. It will really help you create those lifelong habits that will stick for you over the test of time. the best way to get people on board with you as well. So let's say you have some friends that aren't too keen on you intermittent fasting, or they're maybe thinking that's something that you're doing that's crazy or not safe, or maybe your spouse isn't on board. The best thing you can do to get people to believe in what you're doing is be consistent, and be consistent long enough for you to yield the changes that you're hoping for, so that they will see that it is actually working and it is worth it. And that's when you get people to buy into what it is that you're doing. I know myself, I've drugged my husband through enough quick fix diet type of situations that, anytime I was creating a change in the past, he'd kind of look at me like, oh, another one of these things. We're going to have to like overhaul our whole life for a couple weeks to see if we can make some change in our body. And then as soon as we go back to the way we were, we're going to be back to the way we were. So I had to be consistent over time as well, with even my own family and my own husband, for him to see the value in what it was that I was benefiting from with the changes I was making with my fasting and my feasting, and the foods that I was incorporating now. And once he saw that I was being consistent with it, and I wasn't going to throw in the towel on it, and I was doing it long enough to yield the positive health changes that I was looking for, that's when he was like, oh, wow, why am I not doing this with you, kind of thing. And so make sure that you're staying in it for the long haul, that you are making that commitment to be consistent long enough over time that people will stop, and instead of questioning you or thinking that you're crazy, they're going to stop and question you and say, hey, what is that you're doing? I've noticed some really nice changes in you. And that's really when you can get the people that you are, surrounded with, and that you hoped would come with you, to actually come with you. They want to make sure that you're in it for the long haul too. And that's really where that consistency starts to pay off. Um, so what do you do if you're trying to stay consistent and you're having some problems? Maybe you're getting tripped up by some things. And I know I did too. Like I said, I was struggling with the whole French fry corn chip tortilla chip thing for the longest time, until I realized it was just not worth it for me anymore. It was causing me to have too many setbacks. And so I've established parameters for how I want to live my life authentically, and am consistently sticking with that, and I'm noticing some amazing next level changes for myself and what's going on with my overall health and well-being. And so if you're noticing that you are still kind of having a hard time to buy into like really doing this hardcore, the best advice I can give you is reestablish to yourself your why. Why is it that you are wanting to make some positive changes in your life? Why is it that you're willing to sort of set yourself up a little bit into some new ways of thinking as far as food and feasting? And it is daunting in the beginning to think about going 16, 18, 20 hours with no food in your body whatsoever. And what's going to keep you consistent over a long enough period of time to really reap these benefits? And that has always gone back to your why. For me and my husband, we've decided to live this lifestyle because we want to be energetic, very active, happy, healthy grandparents to our grandkids that are still really far in our future. We were late parents. We had Gabby when we were in our 40s. And so if our kids decide to not start a family until they're into their mid to late 30s or their 40s, we're going to be in our 80s when we're grandparents. And so we have to really take care of ourselves to make sure that, we're still going to have our cognitive abilities, that we're going to be able to remember who we are and who they are, and really be able to participate actively in our own kids as they're growing up and becoming adults and on their own, but also for the grandkids that we really, really, really want to be a part of their life actively as well. And so our whys always vary in the very front of the decisions that we're making about lifestyle changes that we're doing, and some of the things, habits that we have created in our own life as well. And we're being very diligent and very consistent with what it is that we're doing to ensure that we will be able to reap these health benefits of what intermittent fasting and feasting on nutrient dense foods are going to do for us, and really living that keto-like lifestyle so that we're making really good choices in our feasting window. And for us, time is forever, because we can't imagine doing anything else. We've tried to live other ways, and those ways just stopped working for us. A lot of it is because our hormones are changing and we are becoming older, and there's just research out there that shows that this is the best way to live. And so for us, the consistency now is just natural, and the time has no end date to it, because this is just the way we're living our life, and we've created these habits now as really solid habits, building in the flexibility that we need to build in when it's necessary for us to also be authentic in the way we want to live. And so if you're struggling with trying to find the results that you're looking for with doing something like intermittent fasting and changing some of the things that you're doing in your feasting window, consistency is going to be your best friend, and making the commitment to yourself that the time part doesn't have an end date. This is just who you are now. This is just the way that you're going to live your life because of the results that you want to not only attain but keep for yourself, because we know that this lifestyle now reaps so many amazing health benefits, not only physically, not only how we want our bodies to look, but what it's going to do for our brain, what it's going to do for managing and offsetting some cancer type situations. I mean, the studies and the research and the proof is just there for us, and that too should be just enough for us to be consistent enough over time to make this work for ourselves. So if you're struggling, it's totally normal. It is that thing that it's not as fun as other things in the beginning, because you feel like you're maybe missing out on some things, or you're not doing what your friends are doing, but in time it will pay off for sure. A great book if you guys are struggling with time and consistency is this book here, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It is a great, really easy read that kind of just puts a nice picture frame around what doing things consistently over time can do for you. We love this book. We had our son read this book as well when he was in high school, and consistently trying to work his way into some positions that he was hoping for his own high school career to get himself into college. And this was a big eye-opener for him as well. And you are what you repeatedly do every day, and if you're repeatedly quitting things, then that's what your life's going to look like. And if you're going to make firm decisions about some things that you're going to do in your life, they're going to be good for you, and you can consistently develop habits surrounding that, and consistently develop a plan that's going to mentally and emotionally pull you in, and then have no end date for that, and to stick it out no matter what, you will reap the benefits. You have to, because that's what happens when we consistently develop those good habits for ourselves, and we don't put an end date on them no matter what. It took me an entire year to get my intermittent fasting down to a point where I was effectively making those health changes for my own body and eventually losing the weight. And I can't even imagine where I would be today if I hadn't been consistent with no end date in time. And just continues to get better. I made some major changes my second year, which also helped me not only reap more health benefits, but also helped me deal with a lot of emotional stuff that I had kind of looming around with food issues, improved so many other aspects of my life, emotionally, mentally, financially, relationship-wise, spiritually, just because of what the benefits of fasting can do for you. So if you're struggling, the best advice I can give you is stick it out, stay consistent, find a group to belong to. This is a great community. If you're checking in here with us, please feel comfortable here. This is a great home. Lots of loving, supportive women here who will not only answer questions for you, but will share their stories as well. And so consistently show up here with us, and know that you're always welcome to be here and ask questions as well. So I'm going to go in and welcome everyone, if you guys don't mind. This is the time where we have girl talk and get to know each other. So if you're ready to jump off, definitely feel free to jump off. But I would appreciate it if you guys would stay and kind of hang out so I can have a conversation with y'all who decided to join me tonight. This is probably my favorite part of doing these live chats. So I always appreciate you guys checking in so I can say hello to you. Claire, nice to have you. You were first on YouTube, so congratulations for being there at 9. Cindy, welcome. And I know it's not 9 in the UK, it's 9 here. So I think it's pretty early in the morning there. So I appreciate you guys being here. Cindy is in our January course. Nice to see you on tonight. Carla from Iowa, she's also in our January course. Jane, good evening from Melbourne, also in our January course. Patricia, hello from Spokane. I was just talking to a friend about consistency being the key. This is a great topic. Awesome. I like when we are on the same page. Jamie from Tulsa, Oklahoma, also in our January course. Carol from Atlanta, welcome. Bev from Florida, also in our January course. Robin from snowy Minneapolis. Oh, I'm sorry, it's finally warm here in Texas, so I feel sad. Are you a cold person or a snow person? I think I would be. It snows here in Texas for like a few hours and then it melts away. So I don't think I could survive in Minneapolis personally. Linda from Whitesboro, first time to join. Well, Linda, welcome. Make sure you definitely hit that subscribe button over there on YouTube so you'll know when we go live. We go live Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time and Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, just so you know our dates. Renee from Minnesota, holiday mini course graduate, passion planner participant. April from Albuquerque. Bridget from our January class. Cheryl, I had my first 20-hour fast, but I did have a question. Organic black coffee in the AM and lemon Perrier water, natural mineral water is okay. So anxious for the February course. You want to ditch the lemon Perrier, but everything else is good. Let's see. Christine, hello from Perth, Western Australia, July group and alumni group. Nice to have you here, Christine. Susie, what were those last foods you had to manage as you reached the optimal health? Oh, I had to get rid of corn in all forms, cornmeal, anything that has corn in it and corn itself. Corn tortilla chips was the heartbreaker for me, but I found a substitution in Siete chips, which are grain-free, and I finally just decided that French fries had to go for me. Oh, and I've also cut back a lot of, I used to kind of justify the wine here and there, and we've really cut back on that stuff too, and it's really helped a lot. Donna from Murrieta, day 60, feeling great and loving my results so far. Consistency is key. I'm still ruling out foods that may be causing inflammation and possible water retention. Yeah, I'm constantly doing that too. So just keep a good list. If you can't keep a mental, like write down like some watch foods that you have. And then, just keep testing them until you're like convinced that those are the foods that are the ones causing you problems. Cheryl, amen to salted old-fashioned French fries. It's a craving for me and a weakness. Yeah, me too. We just do stuff at home now, so that way I'm in control of what's in them and what they're fried with. So we have an air fryer, and so when we do any kind of potato type of things, we do them at home. And I've been a little bit more infrequent with the potato thing too, because I could eat potatoes literally every day, and it just was way too many heavy carbs for me. So I've kind of cut back on those too. So, yeah, and it's always an ebb and flow. So, I get into these phases where I kind of like, I eat a lot of sweet potatoes and then I don't eat a lot of sweet potatoes kind of thing. And so, it's a thing that's going to always change. And when I'm working out more, I just amp it up a little bit, and I haven't been working out and I forgot to amp back down on a lot of those things. And I kind of started showing up in certain areas of my body. So, that's a good thing to know too. You can kind of go up and down on certain foods depending on what your lifestyle is like. Let's see. Zoe Blue, hello, girlfriend. Randy, have you modified the alumni videos to reflect your new commitment to keto? No, we don't do the alumni anymore. We have a new course we started in January. You should have gotten an email about that. Susie, cloudy in Arizona, 63 today, 15 degrees colder than 3 days ago. I know the weather this year is crazy. Debbie from Arizona, what mineral water do you recommend? Currently I'm drinking Pellegrino because I ran out of my other one. So this is a sparkling mineral water. My favorite mineral water sparkling is the Mountain Valley brand. And then we also drink the Spring, which is the flat Mountain Valley brand. And then Topo Chico's good too. Kitty Cat, let's see, 3 days of 16-8. When I break my fast, my body feels kind of fritzy and weird. Any hacks for foods to break the fast with slowly so my body doesn't fritz? You want to do high naturally occurring fats is the best thing to do. Is lemon mineral water okay? Not. Why? There have been studies done that show that anything like that with a citrusy kind of flavor in your fast can actually break your fast. And I know that there's arguments about coffee too, but there's more benefits to drinking coffee in your fasted state that will actually help your fast, even if it does have a flavor to it and a few calories to it, just because the polyphenols and what it does for appetite control. Where lemon is just a pure flavor and can cause an insulin release in your body. So if you're one of those people that wants to test it out, I always say test it for 7 days. So if you want lemon mineral water in your fast, test it for 7 days and see how deeply you're experiencing what we call the energized sense of calm. If you're not feeling it, then I would get rid of the lemon water. Jane, I'm making my own mineral water now. Good for you, girlfriend. Randy, how does the new course? Just new content. I don't just new way of explaining things and just some new information that I'm sharing. Everyone who took the old course who's taking the new course is really glad they took the new course. Donna, black iced tea has become my new go-to. Yeah, I love black iced tea too. I like the one that they serve at Sprouts is really Sprouts at Starbucks is really good. It's my favorite. Patricia, I'm intrigued. How? Patricia, intrigued about what? Let's see. Susie, is tea as good as coffee? I think black tea is. That's the one I always see referenced in anything that they're talking about what you can have in your fasting window. You just want to stay away from anything that's going to have anything in the tea other than the actual tea, tea leaves itself. So just make sure you're reading your ingredients labels really good. Jane, 8 teaspoons of baking soda, Epsom salts, KCI per liter. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. What are examples of foods that are high naturally occurring fats to help break the fast? Olives, avocado, oil, coconut, all that kind of stuff. Danielle, what is the sense of energy you just talked about with the lemon water? Okay, so we have a thing when we're fat adaptive in our course called the energized sense of calm, and that's when your body is actually fat adaptive and using its own fat sources as its energy. And when you do anything to break your fast, that feeling goes away. We teach all that in the course. You said to test it for 7 days, a 7-day fast test with water. Yeah, so I always say test something for 7 days. That way you have a long enough period of time to either be in fat adaptation or out of fat adaptation, and then just reevaluate after that. Okay, let me see who's over here on Facebook. Great questions over there, YouTube. I appreciate it. Thanks for chiming in. Let's see what we got over here on my Facebook peeps. Lots of comments. I love it. Jennifer, I'm in the January course. I'm jumping in from Peru. My first night online in a week. Oh, Jennifer, how's Peru, girlfriend? Let's see. Sonia, hi from your November mini course and currently in your alumni course. Oh, awesome, Sonia. I hope you're loving the courses. Connie, Joy. Learning so much. Have you said anything about kombucha? Okay, so kombucha is that thing, it's the big trend. And so it's being used as a probiotic, I guess, for gut health. The only thing I don't like about kombucha is that it's such a high, like every time I drink one, I get a raging headache. So I just think it's one of those things that it's a personal choice, I guess, in your feasting window. I personally think it's a little overrated and kind of expensive. And if I get a headache from it, it's not worth it for me to drink. So personally, I went through that little phase where I had my fancy little kombucha bottles and I was walking around, but I personally don't. Personally, for me, I don't think it's necessary. But if you enjoy it and you see benefit from it, then I say then it's fine. It's always a personal thing. Hey, girlfriend, June alumni and January course. Always good to see you, Yvonne. Hey, Yvonne, I'm going to email you about some Fitbit bands, too. I have some extra ones, really cute colored ones, and I don't have a Fitbit anymore. So I was going to see if you wanted them. I'll send them to you. Jenny, I don't know if I will be here at the end. January class and loving it. Thanks for all you do. Jenny, so nice to have you pop in. Go to bed, girlfriend. Sonia, I'm struggling and still not seeing results. Patiently waiting for that great topic today. Okay, Sonia, your results will come. You just have to be patient and consistent every time. And this is why in our course, I really like you guys to stick to a certain way of eating, because the more consistent you are with that keto-like lifestyle in your feasting window, the more you have the opportunity for those hormones to balance out enough for you to see and feel that weight loss change. I know a lot of you are feeling some really good results like clear skin, sleeping better, mental fog is going away. All of those are great results from what you're doing. And those are all the results that I felt in the beginning too. And you're on your way to that hormonal balance. But the hormonal balance part, to get to that weight loss, is that part that does take the longest. So you have to be consistent and you have to stick it out for the time. And then when you start feeling results, you can't throw in the towel and go back to your old ways. You got to really just refine what it is that you're doing so that weight just keeps coming off for you. Alana from Oregon. Hello, girlfriend. Excited for tonight's topic, Alumni January. Awesome. Cindy, enjoying the course so much. First time I'm able to be patient and calm, totally staying off the scale. Oh, that's a win, Cindy. Congratulations. Bridget, hi from rainy Wisconsin. I found Ripple Milk at Sendix tonight. Can't wait to use it in my smoothie tomorrow. Today I use coconut milk, chocolate, plant, protein, peanut butter, vital collagen proteins, ice, and it was very good and filling. Awesome. Okay, let me know how you like the Ripple Milk. I love this stuff. I describe Ripple Milk as tasting like a creamy nothing, and then make sure you got the unsweetened one as well because that has the 0 carbs in it. Bridget, what no soy mayo brand do you use? What tuna do you suggest? Okay, so we get the Trader Joe's brand. I think it's 50% less salt albacore tuna. It has no soy in it. And the Kirkland brand at Costco also has no soy in it. So those are 2 good no soy tuna fish brands. And then the mayo we use, we also get from Trader Joe's, which I know is limited to some people. And I just saw at Costco, there's an avocado oil Primal Kitchen mayonnaise, which also had no soy in it. So you can get that on at a lot of online places as well, the Primal Kitchen avocado mayo, and that had no soy in it as well. And I haven't had the Primal Kitchen one, but the Trader Joe's brand of real mayonnaise tastes amazing. So a lot of those ones that don't have soy in it have an off to kind of plasticky taste to it, but this one tastes really good. And I think I'm going to go get the Primal Kitchen one just to kind of try it out and see what it tastes like. But those are 2 that I know of for sure. Any of the like Best Foods or Kraft or any of those all have soybean oil in them. Even if they say avocado oil mayonnaise, they still have soybean in them. So don't get fooled. Turn that label around and read that back, so you know what you're getting. How long is too long? I've been keto since October with not much of a weight loss. So I started IF about 3 weeks ago. About how long before I see some results? I feel great, but I really need to get some weight off. I'm struggling. Okay, so Lisa, I just shared it took me about a year. Now it doesn't mean that it's going to take you a year. It took me a year because I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't have a course to take. I was like trial and erroring a bunch of different people's philosophies of fasting and feasting until I found my own groove, which is what I teach now in the course. So just consistently stick with it and make sure that the foods that you are feasting on are not causing you to get out of imbalance with what it is you're trying to do hormonally. And that's, watching the gluten, watching the soy, yes, even watching the dairy, and really getting to that point where you're noticing some good, consistent changes. And I even had to, thanks to my girlfriends who are vegan in this group, Yvonne was my big motivation for letting go of the animal protein. Is I've really let go of a lot of animal protein as well. I just don't feel like I have to eat it every night. And that was another one of those next level changes that really put me into a deep sense of the energized sense of calm and really releasing a lot of the inflammation that I just kind of had hanging around at the end. And so watch your meat proteins, dairy, soy, and gluten. And you got to read every label to make sure that that stuff's not sticking in with you. Maria, my husband said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I started IF a few months ago, but your course has changed me for life. Oh, I love that. I'm sleeping so much better, definitely calmer, and can go 20 hours with no problem. Hot flashes have been gone, drinking so much more water. The only thing I haven't done is working out, just walking so far. Yeah, the working out part will come. Don't worry about it. And when you work out in a truly fasted state, it's amazing. And you no longer have to work out in a panic mode, which is so freeing for us. Like I used to run like in guilt trip modes all the time. Like, oh my God, if I don't run today, I'm going to gain weight. Or if I don't run 6 miles, it's not even worth being out on the road. And I don't think that way anymore. And that was the other level of emotional change that I've made too. It's like I can casually just go do a 30-minute something or other, and you no longer have to beat yourself into the ground to get good fitness results, because we're not constantly stuffing our face with food and overfeeding ourselves. So when you get back into that exercise mode, it's amazing, and you'll get some really good results pretty quickly. Andrea, I'm so grateful for this class and group. It is taking time to get it honed in, but it's working. I'm still adjusting my feasting, and I know this is the way to go, so I'm sticking with it. Yeah, Andrea, and like I just said, I'm still adjusting my feasting too. I will always be adjusting my feasting. And I think that's the part that's going to keep me consistent, is and not be bored with this, is that there's so many ways that we can switch up the feasting part of it. Fasting's pretty cut and dry. Like, you just do nothing, right? For whatever designated amount of time you pick to do nothing during your day. And then your feasting window can constantly be revolving and evolving based on what it is that you're doing, or maybe a season that you're in. And I know in the wintertime we cook more, and in the summertime we're going to be out barbecuing, and we eat a lot more raw fresh vegetables and stuff like that. So even my feastings change with the season, and so be open to that too, and that'll keep things exciting for you. Amelia, good evening, girlfriend. Jillian, from the January course, I've missed the beginning, so I will try to pick up on what I've missed tonight. Awesome. It'll be posted on the Facebook page. Alicia, good evening, Diane. December course and passion planner. Maria, I'm thinking about using the shake you use to break my fast. Will it help more with weight loss and then eating nutrient-dense food at dinner? Yeah, and it really simplifies your life too. So Maria, just email me, and then I'll get you all the information about that. Dry Farm Wines is key. Tried that wine. Ugh. It wasn't even worth it. I'd rather just drink water. Like, personally for me, I didn't like it. I know there's a lot of people that swear by it, but it was just watered down wine, and so I was like, I'd rather just drink water for the money. But I love people who appreciate it and are liking it. It's a great way to go. So congratulations that you found it and you like it. Siete chips are the bomb. I may not be able to buy them again because I sat and ate them all in one go. I let my husband have a few. Yeah, that's the only thing about Siete chips, is that when you open a bag, you eat a bag. So that's that thing where you probably have to maybe just put some in a little bowl. You know how on the video in the course where I talk about changing the size of your serving plates and having designated bowls for different things. Maybe we just need to designate a little bowl for our Siete chips, and we fill it up. And then when the bowl's empty, we just don't eat anymore. Just put them back in the cupboard and put them away, because they're easy to eat for sure. I agree. And when I take them to a Mexican restaurant now, since I don't eat corn chips, I don't let anyone in my family eat any chips out of my bag. And I eat an entire bag, or I ate, I guess, because I'm going to reevaluate how I do that too, because there's 5 serving, and that's a lot of carbs. So that's a hard one to make up for the next day. I don't feel bad, but that's a lot of carbs I got to burn off. So I'm reevaluating my Siete chip consumption as well. Let's see, Alicia, which air fryer do you have, and what are some other things you fry in it? We make chicken wings in there. We make sweet potatoes. We've done roasted eggplant rounds with some Parmesan cheese on it. We've done regular potatoes. We've roasted vegetables in there. We absolutely love it. I mean, what else? My kids make pot stickers in there. We've made ravioli in there. It's amazing for anything that you would think about having a fried sort of taste and texture to. It works great in there. And one of the key benefits to an air fryer is that you can eat healthier because you don't have to use oil. We want the oil. So I oil up everything before I put it in the air fryer, and then it gets that really nice like crispy fried consistency. So you can do anything in there. Bacon, cooking up bacon in there is amazing because it doesn't splatter everywhere. You don't have a big mess, and you don't have a big smelly kitchen like bacon. You just put it under the sink and just wipe it out. It's so easy. So yeah, air fryer is awesome. I don't know the brand. You guys, I get all those things from QVC because they have the best deals. So go to QVC and search air fryer and see if they still have some there in stock. Maria, what are your thoughts on matcha tea with almond milk? I personally don't like matcha tea. I know there's a lot of really great benefits to it. I found a couple of them that had soy in them, and so I was sort of turned off and didn't go back. So I'm not a big fan. Sharon, do you have thoughts on eating right for your blood type? Yeah, totally. I think those are those intuitive kind of things. Like, I've naturally been more of a vegetable type of person. I just eat animal protein because I felt like I've always needed that extra protein. But I actually feel a lot better when I'm just eating vegetables and fat. And I'm not good with grains or legumes or any of those things. They just don't make me feel my best. So yeah, I believe that that's sort of that intuitive thing that your body just knows, and find the foods that make you feel your best. And that's probably the best way to go for sure. So Sharon, that's a great question. Michelle, my fasting is good, except I've been on meds for this nasty cold, trying to kick. I'm concerned over the counter meds are ruining my fasting ketosis. Okay, Michelle, you have to do what you have to do to get well. So get through your round of medication and then jump back into a nice long fast. And that might be an opportunity where you might want to add in a little bit of probiotics just to kind of get your gut biome back, especially if you're on antibiotics. It strips us of all that bacteria. So you want to get that good bacteria back in. Get through your meds, do your best, and then jump back in. We're not going anywhere. Remember, we don't have an end date for any of this stuff. So do what you got to do to get well, and then come back in. And remember, fasting is a great healing opportunity for your body. So fast your way back to wellness. That's the best way to go too. Jillian, I don't like olives at all and don't think I like avocado. I'm going to try it though, as so many people I know love avocados. Any other ideas of what healthy fats I could add to a lean meal? I'm struggling a bit with that. Coconut oils, great to kind of saute food in, or avocados, great to pour on everything. We pour avocado oil on everything and it doesn't taste like avocados. My husband wasn't a big olive fan either, so just try different brands and maybe go to a store. Like we have a Central Market here that has, like I think they have like 30 different flavors and styles of olives. So maybe you just have to play around with them a little bit and try to find the one that you like. But yeah, some oils are good. Coconut oil is good. If you do dairy, like grass-fed butter is okay. Egg yolks, make sure you're not throwing your egg yolk out. Those are good sources of fat as well. And that's all I really kind of have the top of my head. We can do some research on that too. So just mention that on the Facebook page, and we'll add some stuff to that. Siete also makes tortillas. Yeah, I know. I'm scared to try those. Kendra, girlfriend, how are you? I'm excited to see you live. Kendra, I'm excited to see you live too. Kendra's my cousin, and she's going to be in our February course, and I'm so excited to have her. Her and my other cousin, Amy, they're sisters, are both going to be jumping in our February course, and I can't wait to spend some time with you, Kendra. Super excited. Elena, new here. How many carbs a day? I've heard different things, 20, 50. It depends on what your goals are. So we're keto-like, so we just kind of moderately maintain our carbohydrate intake to conscious carbs. There's different levels. There's extreme, like living in ketosis all the time. I think those are like 30 and less. Then there's the 30 to 50 category. Then there's the 50 to 75 category. And I think anything under 100 is pretty keto-like. So you just got to find the foods that best fit whatever lifestyle you want to live, and just be very conscious of them. And take out all unnecessary carbs is the best advice I can give you too. Cindy, good to have you here. Maria, I did the plate, bowl, and Dixie cup like you suggested, especially for my pecans, so I didn't go crazy. Yeah, that's the best way to go. Never open hand eat snack foods. It'll get you in trouble every time. So we use little Dixie cups. It works well. Janie, what are your thoughts on fat bombs if you are craving a bit of chocolate and nut butter? I use coconut oil, Kerrygold, cocoa, and nut butter. I just read an article about fat bombs. I think it was yesterday someone sent to me, and they're so not necessary. It's sort of like over fatting you. And if you don't know how your body is burning off that fat and how your body metabolizes fat, you're literally over fatting yourself, and your body won't have the opportunity to burn that off. So then you just store it. So I would say maybe in a pinch, a fat bomb might be a nice treat, but don't live off them for sure. What about estrogen? Beta, what about estrogen? What did you need to know? Yvonne, nuts, pecans, macadamia nuts, pumpkin seeds. Okay, yes, there's my girl Yvonne, always helping me out. Nuts are a great source of fat too. Macadamia nuts, hazelnuts, I think are the two highest fat nuts. If you're looking for fat content in nut, macadamia nuts are by far the best as far as fat goes. So yeah, if you like nuts, that's a great way to go too. So thanks, Yvonne, for being my brain on that one. Okay, let's see what we got going on here on YouTube as far as comments. Kitty Cat, thoughts on salt water. 1 tablespoon pink Himalayan sea salt and water overnight to drink first thing in the morning. It's helpful in general and for the adrenals. Yeah, probably. I don't know. My water has sodium in it, so I do that. and I generously salt my life. And as a matter of fact, I wasn't feeling really good yesterday. I was on the tail end of my cold, and I drank the olives that we have. The can says it's just olives, water, and sea salt. So I took the olive juice and poured it in a cup and drank the entire can of olive juice. And I instantly had a rush of energy and felt great. Woke up this morning feeling fantastic. So I don't know, maybe it was the olive juice that cured me. But don't be afraid of salt. Salt is great for sure. So definitely start salting your stuff, and yeah, put it in your water for sure. Carla, the avocado oil mayo from Chosen Foods at Costco is great, also at a great price. Okay, there you go. There's another one. Lori Ann, joining late and excited that I can go back and watch. Topic sounds amazing. Thanks, Di, for always keeping us up to date. Oh, Lori Ann, you're so welcome. Always good to have you here. Melissa, first time to catch you live. I'm signed up for the February class and have been trying IF for over a week. Looking forward to the class. Melissa, I'm so excited to have you in the class. It's going to be a great group of women. Audacious April had the Primal Kitchen mayo today. It was delicious. Awesome. Okay, so there's another person saying that the Primal Kitchen avocado mayo is delicious. You can find it at Costco currently, and I know you can get it like a Thrive Market and a lot of other. I think you can get it at Amazon online as well. So thank you for the input on the mayo. I appreciate it. Pam from Fresno, on my dinner break now, so can't watch it all live, but we'll finish watching it later. Awesome. Have a good dinner break. Do you think the sugar in the kombucha that gives you the headaches? Yeah, probably. I mean, there's a warning on there that says, be careful driving because there's alcohol in there, or there's a certain age that shouldn't be drinking it or whatever. So I'm sure it is the sugar alcohols in there, and I don't break down sugar well. So yeah, there's just too many other ways I can heal my gut by like putting nothing in it for a good amount of my day is the best way that I've been able to heal my gut. So I'll just stick with that and save my money personally with the kombucha. I don't really need it. Do you think flavorings in tea spark hunger? Yeah, they can, for sure. Cheryl, thank you, and God bless you for all the time and knowledge. Oh, Cheryl, thank you for saying to you. Can you drink green tea matcha powder when fasting? I don't think so. I would just save it for your feast. Okay, that's over there on YouTube. Can you have bulletproof coffee, butter, MCT oil during your fast? You can, as long as you don't mind breaking your fast. It has been shown through studies that MCT oil and butter do break a fast. And so I would highly recommend just going black coffee or saving that till later when you're about to break your fast. And we've had women in our course test it, and they were doing bulletproof coffee during their fast. They weren't getting results, and they were super frustrated. And then they cut the bulletproof coffee out of their fast and saved it for later in the day. And magically, they started getting really great results because they were staying in their fasted state for a longer period of time and really being able to reap the benefits of being fat adaptive. So I would say if you want to test it. Just don't be bummed if you're not seeing the results, and then be willing to give it up and try to go for a clean fast. So time and consistency are definitely two of your best friends when you're trying to yield results with something like intermittent fasting and a keto-like lifestyle. The more consistent you are, the more opportunity you have to keep your hormones in check and keep everything balanced out. And then with time, meaning this is a lifestyle that you're going to adapt. We're not putting a time limit on this. There's no race to the finish line. This is just something that we are going to continue to improve on and perfect for ourselves personally by what it is that we wanted to do to make sure that we are looking and feeling our best and living our most authentic life. So that's the ultimate goal here. And then you're just going to tweak things along the way. So I'm going to close out for tonight. I'll go back and read these last little comments just came in, and I'll make sure that I go back and answer them for you. Remember, we are live here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, both on YouTube and Facebook. I hope you'll be able to jump on with us live tomorrow, and then we'll be back here Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central Time again. Thank you guys so much for giving me your time and attention tonight and for participating in our conversation. I always appreciate it. The questions and the comments that you guys leave really do make these live chats that we gather for super interesting, and I'm sure that everyone who's jumping in also appreciative of the fact that they get to learn a little bit more and hear from your comments as well. So keep in mind also that we have a new course starting on February 3rd. Registration is open and our course is filling up quickly. If you want to jump into one of our courses, now would be a great time to get signed up. We start officially on February 3rd. Have a super good rest of your Monday wherever you are in the world, and I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon.